Welcome back to my wall of many treasures. This time we're going to be taking a look at one of the rooms in my Shadowbox house displays about Thanksgiving Day. And I'll tell you about the pieces in it after I share a few memories with you. Isn't it odd how something as anomalous as an odor can be remembered so well? I can still smell the delicious pumpkin pies, and the turkey and other homemade culinary delights prepared by loving hands, and that was over 50 years ago. My dad, Grandpa, and uncles gathered in Grandpa's living room, solving the world's problems, while the women folk dashed about the kitchen and dining room, readying the feast. And what a feast it was. Outside in the crisp autumn air on this Thanksgiving Day, some of us kids sat on the front porch playing cards, whilst others ran around in the yard throwing chestnuts at each other. And believe me, they hurt when they hit, especially if they still had their spiny outer shell on. And as we were doing this, wisps of smoke from some burning leaves nearby filled the air. This was Thanksgiving Day around 1965. And on the other hand, amid all those happy memories, is also the memory that I would have rather been any place but there, except for the food. It has always been my least favorite of all holidays. Please don't get me wrong. I was and am very thankful for all the things God has given, especially His Son Jesus. But I guess in a way, I was a rather goofy kid, in that I'd rather be holed up in my bedroom with pencil and paper writing what to me were exciting adventures. And those stories were pure escapism for me, but I was expected to be at the celebration and to be on my best behavior. I think I inherited some of my apprehension towards family gatherings from my mom. Not to demean her any, she was a wonderful person and a very loving person, but she hated family gatherings because she had a certain feeling of people looking down on her, and I don't know that they did. She was a good person, but she struggled with that for most of her life that I recall. But and I think that was passed on to me. I'd rather be with strangers than with family, because I feel the same way when I'm with them. They're passing judgment on me. But anyways, I want to tell you a little bit about the pieces that are actually in the Thanksgiving room. The girl and boy in the back are obviously pilgrim figurines. They look like they're homemade ceramic pieces, but they're not. They are actually chalkware pieces and hail from the 1970s. They embody the symbolism of Thanksgiving we all think about, of the pilgrims. I just realized the only thing I don't have in here is an Indian. The guy in the center is another pilgrim, and he's blowing some kind of a horn, I guess signaling for Thanksgiving dinner to come and get it, if you will. Little boy in the front is a drummer boy. I don't know that he particularly has anything to do with Thanksgiving, but he seemed to fit in well there. The man in the back with the horn was made in Japan, as was the little boy, but they were separated by quite a distance in time. The little boy is from the 1930s, and he was actually a salt shaker, and he's banging a little drum there on his side, and it's just a really cute piece. The face has an awesome expression on it. Then to the right of the little boy is a really cool turkey, Thanksgiving turkey, and that was actually made in Germany, probably in the 1920s. On the left is a little mouse, and I love that little mouse because while it was made in Japan, it is from the late 1960s, and I used to go to Cunningham's drugstore in Bridgeport on the Dixie Highway, and I would take some of the money I earned from cutting grass, and I would buy these figures for my mom. There was a whole set of them, and they were awesome, and I think I had bought all of them for her. Don't know whatever happened to them, but she loved them. And when I saw this one at a yard sale, I snapped it up because it reminds me of Mom. The other pieces in here are fairly recent. The back is made to look on the right like like these people are standing outside of an archaic type building. On the back and on the left is the cross representing Jesus and the reason we really have to be thankful. And then there's corn in the foreground and squash or pumpkins. And it's just a neat little scene that recalls, for me, a lot of things about that particular holiday. Well, I hope you've enjoyed looking at the Thanksgiving room in my wall of special treasures and memories. And thank you for stopping by. God bless, and have an awesome day.